Welcome to part 3 of our 2.4 build. Special Saturday edition because I was out for a work event yesterday. And yeah, so we basically pick up exactly where we left off last week. Let's see. So last thing we did last week was the Nevermore. Which had a couple of issues, and I can gladly report that I solved them. So we basically the problem was this. Oh, this is in the wrong mode. Oh, it's a good start. Let me quickly get this out of manual focus. Um, Now it focuses on the wrong thing. Well, quickly fix that. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, it's always a bit of a struggle with these like top extrusions here. So basically, we really struggled to get the cover here up and running. As you can see, I managed to get it in. I reprinted it. And basically what I did is like I printed it and I immediately took it off the build plate. Like as soon as the print was done and was like still like at 100 degrees on the bed, I immediately took it out and jammed it in there, and that worked okay. But you can see there's a bit of a dent here. And basically what happened is the track broke. Hi there, Harlem. Hi there, Steve. Oh, I see the chat is misaligned again. Maybe? I'm not sure if the chat is misaligned. I think the chat is misaligned. Ah, this is so random. Like every time I start the stream, like I don't change the settings at all for this chat window, and like every time it's like different. Super weird. See, now I just deleted the settings and I saved it, and then I pasted the settings again and saved it again. Now it's okay. I have no clue what's up there. Oh, but I also see I forgot to hook up Chrome. Very well, not prepared. So with all the technical issues out of the way quickly. So yeah, so basically the track here cracked, and so this is still not really usable, and it's quite a pain to get out. Like it's stuck now. Like I was able to get it open and closed a couple of times, but it's like yeah, it's like not something I want to do on a daily basis. Not daily because like, that's not how often you have to change the material, but like yeah, it's like it's not fun. It's not enjoyable to use. So, oh yeah, and also like there are a couple of these like beams missing here because they're really easy to break. So basically what happened is I redesigned that part. That's the original one, and this is my updated one. The link is in the description or on the Discord channel. So basically how this works, it's just like a different opening mechanism. So you open it from the top instead of the side, which makes it a tiny bit more difficult to get the coal in. I tried it, it's super fine. It's not a big deal. And then basically just like snaps closed with magnets. So this is like way easier to open and close. And then it also nicely snaps in here with magnets. So it's like all magnets now. Someone in Discord was actually asking why I use 2 magnets, because I was lazy and like I basically just copied the magnets down to that slider. But technically 1 magnet would also have worked pretty fine. But yeah, this is like now super easy to open and close. There's not much to do installation wise, like you just push the 2 magnets in. You print the 2 parts exactly the same as the original ones. And that is never more settled as far as I'm concerned. Um, yeah, just quickly wanted to report on that. Discord link invalid. The changes messed it up again. Okay, I'll fix that quickly. We're not getting out of the weeds yet with the technical issues. I'm not quite sure why the Discord link would change all the time. It was like last stream we had the same, right? That the Discord link was not valid. There is a new Discord link now. Okay, well, then for today, what is planned? So it's quite bare bones still. So we definitely need to change that. And yeah, we are getting there. It's still quite bare bone. And today we're basically gonna add the feed and the Z drive. So that's my goal for today, and also the bat. I hope we are that quick. I think the Z drive should be relatively straightforward. So that's goal for today. It's basically two next chapters of the manual. I would say let's just jump into the manual and take a quick look on what we need to do. So it's basically the section Z drives and idler on page 22. For some reason, you can't click the links here or like the pages. It's been annoying, but here we go. So we have the four corners that we need to do. Hide a huge dino. The four corners we have to do, and then on top the four Z idlers. In good old Voron style. Oh, you don't see it with the eyes. um, so it's basically, I think they're identical as well, back and front. So it's only like two different parts, like just mirrored. And yeah, we complete the linear rails. That's all well and done. So we actually started that last time already. And we paid attention to still have the stop blocks basically on all four rails. So even if we like later flip it over, we don't lose the carriage. That's quite not fun if you don't do it in a controlled manner. And also let me quickly double check. Yes, we have them in the right orientation. So basically not between the front ones, but between the front and back extrusions. We also installed the deck panel already. So it was also last stream. And then these, we also installed the DIN rails, but for us, they're not like basically horizontal, but they're like along the y-axis basically. So not along x, but along y. That's the difference from this kit, which we also found in the description here. That's linked from the Formbot webpage. And there it basically told us on page 29 to swap the direction of that compared to the stock Voron manual. Yeah, so let's just, I think, start with putting these together. It's a lot of heatset inserts, so I would just get them out of the way in one go. So let's just do all these parts. And let's actually start by finding them in our big box. So these that should be it. Right? That's 4 each. And then we can already like plan ahead of it. These are the motor mounts that will be used to the next step. So let's just park them on the side. And then we also have the idlers. But that's for later. Okay, so we need 6 heatset inserts on the front here, on each of them. And then they all have 2 on the bottom. Let me quickly grab my soldering iron. I did not plan ahead here. Yeah, I use always like 290 degrees, but it can always like be a bit different with your soldering iron. Let's also let me quickly get this out of the way again. Don't worry about that. Check our big bag of hardware. Luckily, the golden headset inserts are easy to find. But it's really, it's not a lot. I'm not quite sure if there's like not a lot of spares or if we really don't need that many. But it looks like maybe 100 or something like that. Actually, I didn't check the BOM of the kit, like how many are included. It's not a huge amount. So I think if you like plan on doing a lot of mods, just order like an extra bag of these. The holes also seem rather large. I don't think I do that right. Let me quickly check. This is the, yeah, I do it wrong. I was like, this does not make sense. Okay, let's go. That's the wrong part. Let's start over. It's the wrong part. I was like, this whole size does not make sense for heat insert. Okay, so it's like the smaller part that needs the inserts, and suddenly the inserts fit a lot better. I really considered like building like one of these like heatset insert presses at some point. And it's like a very dedicated tool that you have like laying around, and I feel like they take a lot of space. Now it's actually also like it's not that hard doing it by hand. Like if you have like a whole production chain running where you do like 100 per day, then I think like a insert, like a press basically dedicated tool makes like a lot of sense to have. But for just a couple of inserts here and there, like by hand is actually working quite well. The inserts that are like used by all the Voron designs are also like self-centering. So they have like a little bit of like a temper to them. Like the bottom, like this side here is like a little bit like thinner diameter than the top. So they basically center themselves in a hole. And from there on, it's also like relatively easy to just put them straight in. And it's always, it's not like, I mean, they should be straight, but it's not the end of the world if they're like a little tiny bit off. As long as you check that they are flush, they're pretty much straight anyways. I also think like it's like a lot of about temperature. If it's too hot, like they just like fly in basically, it's very hard to get them straight. I did the same thing on my first 2.4. Oh, like the wrong parts? Yeah, I don't know. I was like not yet in printer building mindset mode. I was actually I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan, and on Thursday the new Assassin's Creed Shadows was released. So I was like playing that the entire day. That was most of my Saturday. And it's actually like a really nice game. I really enjoyed it. I feel like we'll use like half the heatset inserts just like here on these parts. That's 3. It's a very peaceful and relaxing work. Okay, last one on these parts, and I think the other half basically only has 3 per part. Should be, let's make sure to get it right. So it's the bottom 2, these 2. Yeah, so this is the bigger part, and we have the 2 big holes here. So the 2 inserts go in here. And then the smaller part has 1 more here on the bottom. Let's quickly do the bottom one first. Okay, that's these 4 parts. And basically these have all 2 here on the bottom. Yeah, it's really like we use half of the inserts in these parts already. And I guess like all the other things are mostly mounted to the extrusions directly. Okay, that's all these parts done. So we have that all done. And now we are building the motor sampling. Let's maybe do one first. Let's just quickly check that the parts fit together. Because they should be mirrored, yes. Yeah, well, it looks good. So this is like one part. Oh, you ended up building a press before you built the 2.4. Yeah, the second 2.4. Yeah, I don't know. Like the thing is like really like I don't want to have it like standing around. Like for me, I feel like space is a bit at a premium, because I have a relatively small apartment, and so basically all these like extra tools, I really think a lot about whether it's like worth it for getting them, or whether I can like get by without. Okay, so we need the idlers. Let's see where we have that. Yep, here they are. These are the feet. We will need them in a second, so I'll already grab them. Then we have, these are the 6mm idlers. Then we have these beams, and we have 9mm idlers. These are also 9mm, so we more likely need them too. And that's for the bad. We also need that. And I think that is most of the stuff we need for the next couple steps. So let's start. Let's actually just take one for now. Let's get one of these out, and let's make sure to not lose any set screws. I do have some spares, but let's get them in right away, then we don't lose them. Yeah, insert both set screws and use thread locker. We will do that in a second. I'll just like quickly store them here that we don't lose them. So we need to position this 33mm from the top. Let me just quickly make sure this is at 0 and then 30. Yeah, 33.02 is good enough. And that is with the head side basically. So this is the distance. And just quickly tighten one a little bit that we have a bit of resistance moving that. We can dock it on. Okay, let me just quickly, like this one is now tight, so it's locked in place. And then for this one, I always use like an empty bag or something. And just put a drop of thread locker there. Really not a lot needed. And that's it. That's number uno. Oh, we also need the bearings. Totally forgot about that. So we need the shims. From our big bag of hardware. Where are they hiding? Here. M5 shim. And then we also need the big wheel, the 80-tooth pulley. It's a professional term for that. I ended up using an old Ender frame piece to build it and only needs 3 screws. Yeah, it's really simple to build. I think there's also like a lot of really cool designs for like heatsink insert presses by now. Hi, Neo, welcome. Oh, I'm making a mess. If I remember correctly, the wheels were like all at the bottom. Let me quickly get these out. That's the 80-tooth pulleys and bearings. And while I'm here, let me quickly rescue 4 motors because they're also here and we're gonna need them. Anything else I need? No, that's it. That is it. There's also 2 set screws in there. Let's put them in also right away. We don't lose them. Okay, then looking at the manual, so we need Hi Custard, welcome to the special Saturday edition. Got 2. So we have 2 of these. Then we have 1 bearing, and we have another 2 M5 shims. Then we have the 80-tooth. Oh, like ours looks a little bit different. The one in the manual, basically, like the base is a lot larger. It's like the full width here, but that doesn't really matter, I guess. And that is it. And then basically on both sides, we will add another bearing. Let me just tighten the like always tighten the one on the flat side first, then it's like properly oriented. Oh, that's where I made a mess. I accidentally moved my thread lock my thread lock back, and I don't know where it is now. No, too bad. And I think I'm almost out of thread locker. I should put that on my shopping list. Okay, let me park this here on the side. Then this is the first one. Let's check our work. Like we're still missing the 2 bearings on each side. Get it. There we go. And it has a bit of play, which is good. So this is our full assembly here. Oh, the belt loops. Ah, there's even more files. I really need to organize it a bit better. Let's grab this. This is the belt for that. But where are... Ah, here. The loops. That's a 188 millimeter. Okay. Then which half is this? I'm always getting these halves mixed up. This looks like this half. Yeah. So the 80 tooth pulley goes on the side. We need to keep the belt on the right side here, of course. Perfect. Okay, that is good. And if the belt wants to cooperate, oh, yeah, this is good. So basically, like the 80 tooth pulley, you see like there's a gap, doesn't touch. The small pulley doesn't touch, and except for the belt rubbing, like it spins freely. So this is exactly what we want to see here. Then let's close this up. Make sure that the belt stays on the pulley. Then hardware. We need M3 by 40. M3 by 50. M3 by 40. Here we go. Oh. Third time is the charm. Yeah, and this one, seemingly the heat sensor is not 100% straight. It has a bit of friction, but still works. It looks actually very straight to me. Not quite sure what the problem there is. Okay. That is number one. And I guess the manual, oh no, they continue with the feet. Now let me quickly check. I have the right one. So the side with the two arrows has the little notch here. Yeah, that also lines up. Okay, perfect. And then we need M3 by 8. I'm really curious how the panda theme will turn out with black and white. I think it will look cool, but I hope that it will also look as good in reality as it does in my mind. So now we also like directly prepare the motor, okay? And for this we need 16 tooth pulley. 16 tooth. It's a bit annoying that like the set screws are like loose in the bag. I'm not sure. I don't think they give you any spares. There's one spare in there. There's one spare. So it's inverted basically, upside down. Lost audio. I'm not sure. For me, the microphone shows up, Steve. Anyone else having audio issues? Like from my side, like it looks all good. The microphone is working. Sound is fine, yeah. I think, Steve, that might be on your end. Like, you can blame a lot of technical issues on me, but not this one. Also, no problem there. No, okay, cool. And that's a little jiggy to align. Okay. Just quickly check that it's aligned. It's a bit low. Fix that. Have you seen newly announced tool changer from Bontech? I didn't see that yet. I didn't see that yet. What makes it special compared to, for example, like Prusa XL? Okay, let's thread lock this. And that's the motor. Where's my mouse? Here's my mouse. Yeah, and they also now installed already. There's some a bit confusing hint on the GitHub guide for this kit, where it says if you build a 300 by 300, which we do, turn one of the motors 90 degrees so that the cable is on the same side as the two screws of the bracket. Now, I'm not quite sure what this is meaning. So basically, looking at this part, which is the mirrored one, it's also mirrored. This one is the one we're looking at. I assume like the connector being here, I assume what we are supposed to do is like have it facing down, basically. Like if you look at it as in the manual, because the manual says this is the orientation we are going for, like to the side. So I think I'll blindly trust that um, that guide on. Yeah, that's also how I understand it. I'm just not quite sure, like mentally, in my mental image, like I'm not quite sure what the point of that is, to be honest. Let's roll with it. I think it's relatively simple to change later. Like if we realize it's not good, then it doesn't really matter. So let's do one like this. Where's the motor located? The motor basically goes this way in, basically. But yeah, Steve, like that's the thing. Like what also concerns me, like if I do it like this, it faces straight up into the back panel, basically. So I don't see how this is supposed to work. So I think I will disregard that the tip from the GitHub. So let's just go with the manual orientation. Again, like if we later have to change it, it's not horribly difficult. So let's just roll with what the manual says. Man, it's absolutely messy here. It's like a million things. Okay. And they now mounted already. But I think it's best if we do the other ones first. Manual orientation works best for me. Yeah, I think I really think like if you oriented like the GitHub um, manual says it should be oriented, we will have a lot of trouble. So I just go with the manual orientation. Okay, but then so this is basically one set. We now so later this basically goes in like this. Actually, I'm quite sure if there's like any tensioning mechanism for the belt, but most likely don't need it. Um, but now we have to build 3 more. So let's just go into the serial production mode. Um, Maybe it doesn't look as clean, but I prefer function over form. Yeah, but also it's under the deck panel, so I don't really mind how it looks in a certain sense. So yeah, I don't know, like it's a bit weird tip. Maybe like later if we put it together, like we can let's do like a cross check, like if that would make sense to turn, but I don't think it does. When I was building the 1.0, I put every bag in order on the table because I was so messy. Yeah, I'm also usually really trying to keep order. But it's just like a lot of different things that we need at the moment. Um, but I think that in a second it will be better. In a second it will be better. Like I actually have a you know what? Let me just collect the empty bags on the floor. Then there's less on the table already. Okay, let me quickly secure all the set screws. And I think there's like per bag there's 1 spare. Yeah, there's exactly 1 spare. And for the other bag, I also counted 1 spare, so it seems like they at least give you a few extra. Let me just put them here. Oh yeah, and that's the so you need to pay attention when you build that. There are the 16 tooth pulleys, which are for Z, and then there are the 20 tooth pulleys, which are for AB. But yeah, it's different bags, but still like pay attention. Don't use the first ones you see. Yeah, so in this bag it's one spare. So overall bags you get 3 spare set screws, which I guess is fine. If you drop one, not a big deal. Let's just do all of them in one go. For the Foreman Core XY, I 3D printed those wheels, but these are like way nicer than the printed ones, that's for sure. I'm actually not sure if there's a performance difference between like the aluminum, I guess it's aluminum ones, and 3D printed pulleys. Like for small ones, you can't use 3D printed pulleys for sure. It's just like not enough material for the forces on it. But the 80 tooth, like you can definitely 3D print. LEO 2.4 has the motor bars going to the outside the frame to make room for electronics bay. Outside of the frame. Let me quickly. So they basically. You're telling me the LDO kit basically wants you to have it directly inverted, basically. So the motor plug would be here. I think that would be actually cleaner because like here you have like, I don't know, like a finger width space at least later, right? There will be a skirt, but there's definitely space here. Maybe that's a nice clean way of wiring that. Let's go with the manual route. For now, let's just stick to the manual. The manual wants it this way, then let's also do this way. But like later on, it's relatively easy to like loosen these 3 screws, I think, and turn the motor. It will only become difficult once you put on the skirt. So until the skirt is there, it should be fine. Yeah, the wire length is actually something that should be then thought of. So potentially the LDO kit just gives you longer wires because like you will need a bit more wire. But yeah, let's just roll with the manual intended orientation for now. Okay, let me just quickly pull up the step again that I'm doing it correctly. So let's tighten one down that like there's a bit of resistance when sliding that. Then we have 33 millimeters from the top. It's a bit off. No, nope, no, it's good. And let's thread lock that right away. That's one. Oh, need to work a bit more here. Fine. Let's get some thread locker on there. Number 2. Actually, I think I did not use a lot of thread lock on this one. Let's just get a bit more on there. Easy to find. Okay, that's 3 times this step. They're not really, they don't really want to stay there. So let's put 2 M5 shims on there, 1 bearing, 5. Let's continue it like this. This one doesn't want to. It has no choice. And 2 more. Okay, then the 80 tooth pulley. Let's tighten the one on the flat side. So I always tighten the one on the flat side first. Need a bit more thread locker now. Definitely need to order. I hope I don't forget. That's on its last legs. That is 1. That is 2. And 3. So then let's Get our 3. Let's not forget about fits well. I think we have to put the other side on right away because you can't really put it down in this state. So like this. Wrong part. This one fits. So the last quick check with the alignment on all 3 that nothing touches anywhere. I think that all looks good. Perfect. Okay. Then lots of screws. Hi there, Dr. Kokosnuts. You're welcome. There's a little bit of tension here, like there's a small gap. So the parts might have warped minimally, but like the screws pulled together fine. So, oh, this one is stiff again. Weird. It's the same one as on the other part. It's good. Number 2. Now this part is fine. Okay. Weird. It's like the same screw is a bit stiff on the 2 other parts. Is this the first Voron? No. I have a V0 and I have Ender wire. So it's like a Ender 3 to switch wire conversion. So it's number 3. But it's definitely my biggest. And the long-term plan for this one is to become a tool changer. So it will be the most capable in a certain sense. Oh, yeah. That's the one where I messed up the heatset inserts. Here you go. Also want to convert my ender. It's a really cool project. Like I'm always saying the Switchwire is a really cool machine, but I'm not quite sure if it's like worth the money to convert the ender. Because like until you or yeah, just like the total cost is like 400, 500 euros basically to convert to ender, and for that price you almost get like a Switchwire kit. So it doesn't really make sense financially, but it's a really cool project. And for me was like the Ender 3 I converted was like my first printer I bought. So there's a bit of like sentimental value to that, I guess. And it was just like nice to like convert it into Switchfire. So it's like still like a very capable machine. It's actually a very capable machine by now. And then you can just keep it, and it's like still a really cool machine to use. Whereas the Ender is like, it's like it's an Ender. Same as mine, yeah. Exactly. I think like there's from Seymour, they have a conversion kit by now. When I did mine, the kit wasn't available yet. So it was quite a bit of pain to like source all the parts individually, and it also made it much more expensive than the kit. Um, but by now you get the Seymour kit for the Enderwire conversion, and I think it's like around 400 euros. So it's a quite okay deal. I didn't have like I paid also like 450 euros, I think. But I didn't have the enclosure. So mine is without enclosure, and if you buy the kit, it comes with the enclosure. I quickly tighten it a bit that it's like on the flat side. It's tad too low. You know what I do? It's actually much easier. So I'll just, because this one we aligned properly, and it's like ever so slightly down. And just quickly copy this. It's like 0.7 millimeters. Let me just quickly copy this, and then we can. Which one is one now that I kind of like? No, it doesn't matter. So let's just. Not sure if that works better. Does that work better than this tool? Yeah, that works. So basically, it's just 0.7 millimeters, now just like aligned from the top. I think it's feels a bit easier to me. Also get some extra thread locker. Yeah, this bottle is really on its last legs, and we just keep it upside down for now, and maybe we get a little bit more out of it. I have an old i3 clone in parts now that I'm not sure what to do with. I wanted to make a Voron Legacy or maybe a mini dev or something, but I'm not sure. Well, I would just like check what like kind of projects are there already out. The bat is quite commonly used, so I think you'll find like a lot of cool projects with that. I also feel like it's like quite a lot of fun. Like if there's like not if it's like not super straightforward sometimes. So if it's like, for example, like here the 2.4 build, like it's very easy, right? Like you follow the manual, you follow the steps, easy as that. But if you, for example, have like something like this where you have like the i3 in parts and like there's somebody on GitHub that did something with it and you try to recreate that, there's a lot more hurdles to overcome, and I feel like that is a lot of the fun basically in such a project. Here we go. Now we have a bit more. Uh, I saw a do ender project, 2 times ender core XY. Okay, it's also cool. Um, the things like with the ender machines, I'm not sure if he's watching, but Ravenkeeper, for example, also created the CNC from the Ender 3. Like you can build like a lot of cool stuff with like enders. And you get them incredibly cheap, like second hand, like you get them for like sometimes for 70, 80 euros. So you can build a lot of really cool stuff from enders. Do many people don't fork to many is relative. Like it's okay. Like it's not my full-time job, and I'm not making enough money for it to be my full-time job, but it's okay. It's like it's a nice side project. I really like the Prusa Bear project. Reuse a ton of parts of the i3. I'm not quite sure. Like I've seen something Prusa Bear, but I'm not quite sure if I remember correctly what it was. But it looks like a Prusa Mark III to me, basically, just like a bit better. So let's get rid of a lot of the chaos here. Because I think like we have all the parts. Oh, the only thing we are missing is the feet. We did all that. Oh, we forgot the M3 nut. How could we forget that? Let's fix that. Oh, here. M3 hex nut. M5 nut. Wait, M5 nut. So these. Let's get this part box out of the way. There we go. 3 times. This part. So there's a M5 nut here that's used later for the feet. And we forgot that in the one that we already did. Oh. I wonder how that is supposed to stay in. Do we glue that? It doesn't say anything about glue here. I mean, later on it's fine. No, it actually stays in. Like once you put it on, it kind of stays where it's supposed to be. Okay. Then we don't need to glue it. Otherwise, I would have like used the dab of super glue. We just need to make sure that we have the right part here. Because this one is the mirrored one. It doesn't align. Here it aligns. Okay, let's quickly glue the nuts. That's a bit iffy to keep them in place. Just using like most tiny dab of super glue here. just to prevent it from falling out. Not quite sure if my print tolerances are off. If they're supposed to be more snug, but hope not, because that would in this case it's not very important, but for other cases it might be later on. Let's also look at this one quickly, because here we already put it in and forgot. I really hate super glue. Like, it's always going wrong for me. Let's quickly use one of the parts that already had a second to dry. See, I already glued my table. Yeah, but this makes it much easier, so definitely recommend. Depth of super glue for these. This is number 1. Number 2. And the last one. I'm very happy that so far all the printed parts were there. I didn't miss any part to print so far. It's actually like always like super challenging because you have like so many parts to print, and you really need to like keep track of everything. So usually what I do is like in Orca Slicer, I create like I created one project for every manual section basically, and then put all like I just went through a manual, like all the parts that I needed, like I pulled into this Orca project. And then if you have to print something twice, it's also like twice in the Orca project. And then I have all my plates prepared. And basically I print every plate once. And if that if that is done, I am almost certain I have all the parts. For these, we also need the mortar mounts, which I already have here. So we now stick with the orientation from the manual, which means it's always on the side where we have the vertical part here. Yep. And the last one. And then we have this very repetitive section behind us. Let me quickly double check the orientation of the connector. It's like very typical for me to get this wrong. Looks good. So all the verticals have the connectors. Okay. Then let me make space. These over here. And then we move to the printer. We just flip this over. Get as high up as possible. So we can work on one and then I have to rotate a bit. I actually have like a new camera mount like I'm planning that can go a little bit higher. That would be very, very handy now. So we need M5 T-nuts. And then we need 4 per corner basically. Let's just do them one by one. Okay. And then we need M5 by 40s. And then let's also double check the orientation. So we are looking. So basically the linear rail is here. This is the front side here. So the cutout in the center, here's no cutout. So this is the front side. So it's the front right corner if it's upside down, correct side. And basically the motor is mounted on the front. That is basically what the menu is telling us, which is a bit complicated in the way they express it. Oh, that's not big enough. Do I have a... Yes. It's not falling, the screw's not falling through here. So maybe my print is a bit messed up. Okay. Scrubbing. So this one. No, same here. How long are you planning to stream today? I'm planning. Basically, I want to finish up the Z drive, and then depending on how long this takes, I also want to do the bed. So I don't know, like another 2 hours, I guess, something like this. Uh, Get an Allen key for that. So I think it would be smart. Yeah, I think the problem is just like that this hole is relatively big and it has a flat side on top. And I think that's why the screws are a bit tough here. So maybe it's a good idea to just use like a 5mm drill bit and just like go through there just to clean it out. Let's actually do that. Let me quickly grab a drill just like to like clean out these holes. Don't install the bed yet. From then on, so heavy. Yeah, this actually something we discussed in the last stream. I'm gonna stick with the manual, the manual way of doing it. But yeah, I'm aware that like the bed you can also just install later on, and just like leave it out for now. But yeah, I'll just, if not install, we at least will do the magnetic bed, like the sticker, the magnetic sticker, and the heating mat. Um, but yeah, most likely also install it and just like follow the manual. And it's like a free workout every time flipping over the printer. Okay, yeah, let me quickly grab a drill. I'm back in like 5 seconds, and then we can clean this out the hole, and then like will be like a lot easier. Right back. You got a 350. No, it's a 300. I was like contemplating quite long if I want a 350 or 300. Let's see. I think this should have already. Yeah, see, it's really like not a lot of material. You see, like here, like a couple of like flakes. So I'm not quite sure if the print I'm having is a bit off. But I think it's just a good idea if you have a 5mm drill bit. Just go through the hole quickly with 5mm drill bit. Because they are printed horizontally. So I'm pretty sure this is not just the issue for me. Yeah, perfect. Then let's make sure this is flush. Do I have something? Let's just use this short extrusion here from the kit, just like to align it. Ideally, we have even two. Let's do it like this. don't think this needs to be like hyper precise, but now it's just like flush on the front and on the side. Okay. Then we have two more on the sides. I assume that's the next step. Yeah. So we need a motor that is having the vertical basically away from the corner. Oop. There we go. Quickly align these nuts. Okay. And we need M5 by 10. And that's button head, yeah. If I to do it again, I would skip the bed cell until the varying portion needed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the smartest way to do it. You know, let's just do that. Don't tighten. We don't tighten the bolts. We would never tighten the bolts here. So this is still a bit loose. It just is held in place. Okay, then let's rotate that thing. Just double check. So you see on the manual basically the extrusion that goes like vertically is where you have the bearing. So our orientation is correct. I don't think there can't be any differentiation between front and back so far. Okay, clean the holes out again. It's like a little bit of material that goes out there. No, it's the wrong one. I actually wanted to buy like reaming bits, I think it's called. Like the ones that are really made to not drill holes, but like just like to change or like ensure the diameter of the hole. It's kind of like on my shopping list for quite some time. Oh, I think this doesn't work. So basically now both nuts are facing with the thicker part inside. And I think this is too far apart now. Can you see? Can I do it? No, it doesn't work. Okay, let's do that. We use this one for the back, but then we need to pay attention that at least so they need to both basically face the same direction at least. Almost tight. Let's just quickly double check. It's like aligned on the front. And then we need this motor here. try to keep a little bit in frame here. Okay, we already have one here, so let's pay attention that we, like, this orientation is okay if they both face each other, or like both in the same direction, but like not opposite direction, basically. Then it will not work. Let's see, this is this one. Oh, there's the T-nut is under there, prevents that part here from snapping in place. They kind of like do snap in place on their own because they have these like little orientation features here. But I still always like to just make sure that they're like properly in place. And this is this motor here. And last one. Make sure these are not not in the way. Oh, make sure these are not in the way. These are the ones I need. And the last motor. Okay. That is that. One thing that's a bit concerning, or like not concerning, but like did we because like here I see like they already put on the rubber feet. But it wasn't mentioned in the steps before. Like, I mean, we can put them on whenever. Quickly. Clean it mess a bit. Where's my... I have my... Oh, that's what I have. No. Let's use this for now. Okay. That is this step. Let's quickly scroll forward. So there's this tensioner. Yeah, see now they put the rubber foot on. So it's like a bug in the manual, I guess. So they put the rubber foot on here in this step. But here it's already shown. Not on this side, just on this side. Okay. Then we need this little like tensioner part. There. 4 of these. See, this one is the right. Okay, it would have been indeed easier to just not put the screw in it at all. So this. So, don't tighten. We don't tighten. I would never tighten it, but let's tighten it so that the motor isn't wiggling too much. This goes here. And the last one. I think it's easier to just like leave this screw in the previous step completely out. I'm sure if they didn't show it and I just like put it in, or if they showed it. No, they don't show it. I just didn't read the manual correctly. So just like one screw in the first step and then the second one comes later. And I guess now we use this to tension. Yeah, so we close the belt tensioner. And then we tighten the screws, right? Tighten bolts, yeah. So this is really just to tension the entire thing. So we close this. Just make sure the motor is somewhat straight. Quickly going through with Allen key in a second. Just give this like an extra. Oh, an extra little. So with the black driver, like you can't really put a lot of force on these screws, which is like fine for most screws. I feel like these, they can have a tiny bit extra. Sure, these all work nicely, which they do. And now we have the round feet with M5 by 16. And there goes the super glue. I felt it just like rip off, but I think like it's nice to have the super glue in there, just like for the assembly process. It's like very wobbly actually now here on the table. And I quadruple checked the frame. It's square. Let me see. Check position. Ensure that the belt tensioner did not cause the Z drive to move shift. Let's check. Looks feels good. This is fine for us. And yeah, so basically we already did that. So now they basically tell us to repeat 4 times. Oops, I pressed the wrong button. I hope I didn't press it for like a long time. So now they basically tell us to repeat everything. And yeah, so basically the 2 opposite ones are always the same, and then you have two mirror one, but yeah, it's really not a big deal. Let me see. Yeah, so now we can flip it back over. And put it on its feet for the first time. I can sit back down. So the Z-Life part box is getting emptier, which is a good sign. So we have 4 of these parts. Let me zoom back in here. So these are the idlers. We have 4 of these, and then we have 3 of these tensioners. And then these are for a later step. So we need a couple of parts. How long does it take to print all the parts? I'm actually not quite sure. Not too long, like a week maybe. I printed all of them on the V0. So the problem with the V0 is basically you can't have too many parts on one plate. So it's less the print time, but you just need to babysit the printer a bit. Let me quickly show you how I organize that. One second, that's the wrong one. Orca slicer. It's a very odd size for the window. Let's fix that. There's a black bar on the bottom. Not quite sure why, but not important. Yeah, so I basically have like what I mentioned, like for every like manual section, I created one project. So this is Z drive project. And then this is how it looks. So these are all the plates. And then whenever I print one and the print is successful, I basically lock the plate with this lock symbol. And then this is my checklist basically. And you see, even if the part is twice, so this part, for example, is there 2 times. So it's like, yeah, these two are identical. So I really put them twice on the plate. And then I know, like, if I have all these printed, then I'm done. So if I just like for these, if I slice all the plates here, so that's basically the parts for today that we used, which is quite a lot of slicing. So that's 16 hours for the parts today. And then you have to consider that like you have to cool down and heat up. So I assume this is like 2 days of printing for the parts today. So in total, I think it's maybe, but these are actually like the largest parts for the most part. So I think in total it's like I print like for a week and a half or something, like every day, like 4 or 5 plates. Um, yeah, that's kind of like the how long it took to print. Like a bit hard to say. So we need an M3 nut, we need the M3 by 16, we need a M5 by 30, and we need the 9mm wide idlers. So these are the idlers. These I have. Then we need M5 by, that's 25. M5, that's 40. That's M5 by 30, so we need these, and then we need M3 by 16, 20, 12, 16. Here we go. And then we also need M3 nuts. That is here. And then we are complete. Take the other things back. Oh, and that's the M3 thread insert batch. That's awesome. Put these back where they belong. Okay, so there's an M3 nut on top. Let's just start actually with the idler. And then we need, oh, that's the wrong one. They are asking for a button head screw. I have the socket head. I'm not sure if there's like 2 different M3 by 30s. No, I don't see. $18. No, I don't see any M3 button head. Nope. Then it's socket head for this one. Where did I? Yeah, so we only have the M3 by 30 socket head. We don't have button head. Not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. But then I'm also, where does this screw into? Does this just screw into? Because they put the screw in like this. Like there's a little like rim here. So this definitely needs something in here. So I think there's a heated insert in there, but this is not mentioned in the manual. So let's just put some heated inserts in there. Also curious why they use like a M3 nut now here on top. Oh, which I accidentally packed back in the bag. Maybe let's actually start with the M3 nut while the soldering iron quickly heats up. Okay. Then let's make sure we get the right side. So I'm not sure if they're identical. Yeah, they're the same diameter left and right. Quickly double check before we do that. Yeah, but it must be a heatsink insert because the length is like perfect, quote unquote. So we need the heatsink insert on one side. And I think the two sides are identical, so it doesn't matter which side we put it in. Oh, I already have 4 here. And this is definitely heatsink insert size. So I think they just missed the heatsink insert here in the manual. Does it make sense for them to be mirrored on 2? Yeah, let's mirror it on 2. So on these, so we have 2 facing this way and 2 facing that way. Oh, Steve, you're right. They are M5. I'm an idiot. M530, yeah. That makes a lot more sense. Check. I'm an idiot. Oh wait, put the... Oh, okay. I'm an idiot. That makes a lot more sense. Is it this one? Yeah. And then they just screw into the plastic on both sides. Science, it's getting late. I'm not sure why I was so convinced it's M3. It makes no sense because like the bore is 5 mm. Yeah. Let's quickly rescue these. Well, thank you, Steve. Nevertheless, let's mirror 2. Let's put it back. And from this side. Okay. Then the screw is on the opposite side of the notch. So let's quickly this one. So notch here, screw there. Then the M3 is already in there. Yep. That would have been better to do before. Here we go. Yeah, this way. That is number one. It's definitely easier to put this screw in before you add the idler. But it works. So also make sure to leave them as loose as possible. Then we have the most distance layer to tension. That's 2. And the last one. And that's all 4. Then we need M5 by 30. It's the same. Let's keep this one here. That's another empty bag, so like the amount of bags goes down least. Check. So, let's pay attention that we put them on the right corner. How do I do that bag? Let's maybe put it on the side. Let's maybe do it like this. Um, oh no, these are M3. No, I was like, oh, this looks very small. It's M3. Where's the M5? Oh, yeah. And there we go. So, oh, that's the wrong screw in the wrong back. And then it goes all the way in the corner. Pressed firmly in the corner. Okay, that's number 1. Let me just move this up and do number 2 up here. Oh. Line that roughly. Hi, Dank. Welcome to the Saturday stream. And that goes into the top corner. rotate that. At which point, I'm now asking myself the question, why didn't we do it in this orientation? That would have been a bit easier. No. Interesting. It's like a bit of a shaving from cutting a thread. Yeah. I don't know why I did not like this before. Like it's way easier. Just like grab the nut, move it to the corner, take the other one, like then if it's like somewhere here, just grab it, move it there, and now it's in the right spot. Not sure what I tried to do there before. Way easier. I'm not sure if I can easily show you this corner without like messing with the camera, but yeah, in this way it's like just like in the right spot already, so you don't have to mess with anything. Much easier than what I did before. Here we go. That's these. And now they tell you again, like repeat that. We did it already for all four. And that's the Z drive section. So no belt yet, but I think it's already quite looking like a printer slowly. I have to organize it a bit differently there because the camera is bumping into the into the light. But yeah, so we have the feet with the Z drives. We have the idlers, which somebody now messed up. Ah, that's what I get from rotating. They're wrong. I rotated too much. We have to quickly fix that. They are in the wrong spot. Stupid me. They should be here, not here. Okay. I'll peel these out after stream. That's a bit of a pain to do. That was stupid. Oh, so much fun. Let's quickly do it again. Just come back. What's the bandsaw situation? Not yet. I just messed up the idlers. I put the idlers in the wrong spot. I rotated the printer and didn't think twice about whether I rotated in the right spot. I quickly have to fix that situation. But then for the bed install, like I'm still not 100% sure. Like I think what we can do is like we just prepare the bed now. So we do the magnet sticker and everything, but we don't mount it yet. So we just have it like prepared, but we don't mount it yet. I'm already looking forward to peeling out the T-nuts from the slot. That's always fun. I have the idea about building the Core XZ with the Mark 1 it's an LEO kit. No, it's a Formbot. It's a Formbot kit. That's the Formbot kit. I think like main reason why I went with the Formbot kit. Also like I got the discount for the kit. I bought the kit, but I got the discount for doing the streams. The link is in the description. The main reason why I wanted to go with the Formbot kit is the main board, because the LEO has the Leviathan. But on the Leviathan board, the stepper drivers are fixed, so you can't change the stepper drivers. But part of the plan I have with this machine, I want to be able to change the stepper drivers. And this kit comes with the Manta M8P board, which has like the stepper drivers are the step stick modules. So it's very easy to swap out the stepper drivers for something else. That was like one of the reasons. And besides that, like this kit comes with everything you need, and it's like half the price of the LEO, like even less than half, I think. So that's the LEO kit has some nice extras. For example, like they include the Revo hot end right away. This one comes with a super standard old school V6 hot end. You can upgrade that, but like the standard setup is with the V6. But yeah, it has everything you need, and it's like half the price. So it's like the LEO kits are really nice. Like the V0, I have the LEO kit. But for the V0, the difference wasn't as extreme as with the 2.4. So yeah, it was almost double. The decision was quite easy. But LEO is amazing. Like if you like the kit is really nice because like you get like a extremely like detailed instruction manual. Like for this kit, for example, that's where you see the difference. Like for this kit, like all you get is this GitHub page that somebody made. With a little bit of like tips and tricks for this kit specific, like differences from the manual. And the LEO kit has a full like manual, so that's the difference. But then you pay twice as much for that. And that's the question: like, is it worth that in the end? So these are in place. I will pull out the extra T-nuts that we have now in there later on. But then let's move to the bed. So let me quickly park this here on the side. A bit of space. Let me pull out the beds. So we have a magnet sheet, which is 300, I guess, exactly. We have the heater with the thermal fuse, and we have the actual PI sheet. And of course, obviously, we do have the cast aluminum plate, which according to the sticker has a flatness of 0.1. We will at some point find out if that is true. It's like absolute mirror. Like you see the machining finishes, like see it here. So there's like 4 passes, but it feels relatively flat. Like there's a difference in texture, most likely, that you feel like if you go over like one of these sections. But I'm not quite sure if this has any impact on the flatness in that area or not. Maybe we can like later with the probe figure it out. Yeah, so there's the back and front to that. And this is the top. So you see basically there's the machined cutouts for the screw heads. So let's go from the top. And the top gets the magnet sheet. So one thing I forgot to bring is like kitchen towel. Let me quickly grab some kitchen towel. 1 second. Make sure this is clean. Like you don't see it because of all the reflections, but I see it. There's like a lot of like dirt on it. Like not fingerprints, but like yeah, like fat and oils. So I'll just use some IPA, just like to make sure this is pristinely clean, because we don't want the magnet sticker to later peel off. Spray some cologne on it. At least that's how it looked. This was an aftershave bottle actually. At some point, I just like repurposed that for like isopropyl alcohol. And it works really well for that. Like it's like a relatively small opening, so you can like drizzle out in like controlled manner. It works really well. Okay. Oh yeah, you see that, right? So it was definitely good to clean. That makes me actually wonder. Nah, it should be fine. I was wondering whether we should like quickly use like the rough side of a sponge. But let's just go with like a clean side over it again. Yeah, there's still stuff coming out. Let me quickly get like a kitchen sponge. 1 second. Okay, so kitchen sponge, soap. Let's just do this as a first pass. The thing is like you kind of want to get all the dirt off here because otherwise the magnet sticker might not hold on properly. And then what can happen is like, for example, if you print ABS and the part is warping, it can basically happen that if the magnet force between the PI sheet and the sticker is stronger than the adhesion or like the adhesive that we now put on, then basically you pull off the magnet sheet from the bed, which is quite not nice. So it's always good to just make sure to get this clean. Also something, I think the LDO kit, for example, I think they have pre-installed stickers, so you don't have to bother with this. Clean both sides. Yeah, I'll clean the other side when we apply the sticker on the other side. So, but yeah, same process there. Now let's do the cologne again. And so far this is pristine white. So yeah, it's pre-installed. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's still a bit. I'm not sure if you will ever get this like fully clean. Let's do like another It's basically just dust from the machining, I think, that just like sits in all the little cracks there. And I think we are in acceptable range. Maybe it's even a good idea to just like have this under like running water. Yeah, still like tiny bits, but I think this is acceptable. It's actually just like we're not in a rush. Let's do one more. I think like the sponge really gets the stuff quite well out, like because now you see like it's quite dirty. I think if you would do that under running water, it most likely would be a lot easier to get this properly clean. Hi, I think the machining oil soaks into the alley. It took me 6 goes with IPA to get it clean. Yeah. And I think that's just like it. I mean, there's like lots of like teeny tiny like scratches and cracks on the surface, and like all the dust just sits in there. But yeah, now it's pretty good. Now it's like really, yeah, good enough. Okay, let me just get this out of here. Let's do a quick check. Yeah, this is like perfect cut. So we need to be aligning this quite well. There's like one larger scratch here. It's just like checking if there's something on it or if it's a scratch. The scratch doesn't matter. Let's just peel a bit. I'll just fold this over. And the only thing I don't have is like a spatula or something. We start. Let me start from this side, maybe. This looks good from it's like flush here. And then it's like not super. Yeah, it's acceptable. There's like half a millimeter here. Use a credit card. Yeah, I know. Something like that. I was looking for something I can use. Uh, but I think. Here we go. All the tools you need come with the kit. So it's just about preventing air bubbles. Just take this here. On this side. Nah, this should be fine now. This should be fine. Maybe we use the short side actually, but so basically it's just about like working this forward step by step. Important is just like to check the like the position before you peel off the tape. or the backing. We can work our way forward. This one is also like it's really thick magnet sheet. Like the ones I always had for the switchwire are a lot thinner, so it's very easy to apply. Always middle? So you mean outwards? I mean, makes sense that you don't have any air bubbles in the, trapped in the center. But to be honest, I think it's very hard to get any bubbles with this sheet here. I usually leave the bed upside down on a flat surface with some weight on it for like 24 hours to cool. Yeah, it's actually good idea. I will do that as well. I think it's a very good tip. I think now we can pull it out fully. I think that's a success. I don't think we have any bubbles, but yeah, it's a really thick thick sheet. So I think it's very easy to apply. But like it's a little like it's half a millimeter off, like on this side and this side. Like there's half a millimeter here and here, but yeah, it doesn't matter. That is well within margin. Then the fun part now is to cut the holes. Which do I have? I'm just gonna use something to poke through. Sure if this sharp enough. This is not sharp enough. No, I don't have anything sharp here. Oh no. So ideally, the idea is just like to poke through that you have like a marking. Yeah, I just wanted to like first poke through from the back that I know exactly where the hole is before I use a knife from the front. But yeah, I think 3mm drill bit is the best to do. Let me quickly grab one, and I'm right back. Here we go. So 3mm wood drill bit, and then I think that's actually way, or like the best solution, because now we have like the marking here exactly in the center of the hole. Let's quickly do that for all four. Okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 little like spots, like see it here. And that allows us to exactly know where we need to make our holes. Let's actually also just use a drill just to get it started. Oh, sorry. It doesn't need to be super precise, technically. It's really just about like getting the screw in there. What I usually use, and it works quite well, is like one of these like counter sinking bits for wood. I did have my drill here. And that works usually quite well. And then it looks like this. And it's like nice and round. You don't have to worry about anything. Just be a bit careful that you that you don't countersink your build plate. Let's actually use the drill just to make like the indentation. I think that's always the easiest. Normally I use the right size drill from the front once I have the hole. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think both works. I prefer the counter sinking because then like you have a like a bit of like a nice edge. It's not quite enough. But yeah, you can also just use a knife. It's just I think with knife it's a little bit harder. And with a knife you will most likely not get like a nice round shape. There we go. And if you have like a sharper one than me, like mine is a bit old, might be even nicer. I think these look quite nice. Mine is a little like bits that are still like hanging on, but it's a nice like round hole. It's quite a nice magnet actually. Like it's quite hard. And that is the front. So let's just, I mean, there's a lot of mess now here, but let's flip over to the back. And here we now need to pay attention. There's the front and the back side, basically. You see here, there's 2 extra holes drilled. So you have the 4 we just also like drilled out from the front. That's where you mount the bed. And then there are 2 extra ones where the thermal fuse is mounted, which is described here, basically. So we have this like thermal fuse here. So we need to pay attention which direction we put on the heating sheet now. So in my case, basically, it's the back is away from me. So it's basically like this. Let's quickly establish let's clean it and then let's establish a position. See, same procedure as on the front. I think on the back, yeah, it's still important, but at least you don't have any like warping forces pulling on it. But still, like you don't want your heating sheet to fall off. That would be quite stupid. Let me quickly grab some fresh water and clean the sponge. 1 second. Let's see how it looks. No, actually quite good. Let's do like 2 rounds of IPA and then it should be fine. Okay. I think this is acceptable. Let me just quickly clean the corners. Okay. Then let's align that. So let me quickly check the dimension. Can't open. I can't open it anymore. So we have the heating element is 25, so we need 2.5 centimeter of distance. Hi, the Big City Tours, welcome. Tape from the underside onto the heat pad when it placed, and you can lift it off. Yeah, that's a good tip. but I don't have tape. That is the main problem here. So it's here. Let's check front to back. Yeah. I don't think it needs to be like hyper precise anyways, but this is pretty good. Like a millimeter left or right will not kill you. Let's actually do the following. So we need around 25. So it's here, here. It's a bit. It's like 20, 26.5. Let's roll with 26.5, and then it's like pretty center. Yeah. Yeah, I think that is pretty good. Like plus minus like a millimeter left, right. Let me quickly see. I don't have painter's tape here right now. Oh, yeah, let's use Captain tape. Already moved, that's good. Just giving it like a lot of altitude to just stick on the heat bed here, because I have a bit of doubts how well it sticks. I think painter's tape would be a much better choice, but that is what I have right now here. Just double check the alignment. I mean, yeah, it's like if it's like a millimeter off or something, it doesn't really matter. Okay. So it just needs to be under tension here, and then it should be straight. No! Check. That did not work. That did not work at all. Yeah. Okay. Maybe painter's tape works, Steve, but this is not. So I'm just like aligning the corner here. Let's put this down. Put this corner down. And now we do the same as on the front. get this started. Also use the ruler here. Oh, sorry, I have to lean forward a bit. Here we go. I think it's pretty well positioned. So a quick check. Yeah, it's pretty much spot on. It's pretty much spot on. Very well. I want to do a bed installation mod for 2.4, but I haven't seen too many in the community do it. I'm not sure if this will... Because, so if you have the Nevermore, or like any other filter, like under the bed, the filter will basically distribute the warm air from the bed, right? So if you isolate the bed, I think you will prevent the circulation, and potentially like you will need to heat soak longer to have the machine heat up evenly. So I'm not quite sure if it's like super beneficial. It's also like the deck panel is also like isolating a bit, right? So the heat stays inside anyway. So I'm not quite sure if like the... Oh god, I'm an idiot. What did I say about the holes? Shit. Ah! If I wouldn't have said it before, it would have been fun. But I explicitly said, like, you need to pay attention to that. Then I did it wrong. Man, I'm not really focused today, sorry. Yeah. Step by step. Let's try again. Could have been very nice. That's a classic me. Classic me. Yeah, it's a good catch, but preferably you catch before you before you tape it down. Yeah, it should be fine. Like, it didn't have enough time to really set yet, hopefully. It came off quite okay. I think if you notice it a lot later, so you know it's not as nice and straight as it was before. And it's still okay, but before it was better. Let's just make sure to really massage it in. You got this. Thank you, Dr. Caucasus. Oh. I always say like it's also because of the stream, because like I'm like not really 100% focused on this, because I'm also like communicating and like reading chat and everything, and it's like really easy to make like stupid mistakes like that. Okay. I think I will follow the tips Steve had, and I'll just put something heavy, like outside of the wire area, just like something heavy. And then like basically both tape, like the heat bed tape and the one on the front with the magnet can like properly set. Okay, well, but now that we have the right orientation, we actually can put the thermal fuse. Let me just like figure out how to wire this. And technically, we can just make it a loop, because I kind of want to have the wire under the bed. So I think this is a good way of routing this. And then we need like a M3 washer and a M3 by 12. Check. This is M3 by 12 and M3. Oh, it's M5. Where is here? Idealistic tech. Very nice ruler, thank you. I actually use it quite a lot. But yeah, it wasn't on stream too often yet, I think. For the rest of stream, that's something Ballistic Tech sent me last year, I think. And it took actually 2 attempts, because the first attempt I didn't have tracking, and then it was like somehow sitting at my post office forever, and I didn't pick it up because I didn't know it was there. And then it went back from Europe to the US. Here we go. That's all secure. Now in the right orientation. And yeah, so basically next step would now be the earth wire. I'm actually considering so we will definitely leave this off the printer. Let's go with the optimized route, so we will not mount it yet. We can mount it any point later. But then like the printer will stay a little bit lighter if we have to move it. What I am thinking on about, just because like I see us forgetting that, is there should be one wire here, which is not this one. This goes to the frame and to the solid state relay. It's most likely this one here. That's to PCV. We're getting there. That's PCU. PSU. Also not. Which one is it? Frame? Oh, bad. Here, this one. Let's just screw this in here. Then we don't forget later when we mount the bed to put that. I bought the same kit, still in shipping. I cannot wait to watch the whole live stream when you're done with this build. Well, I hope that you get your kit before I'm done. Because like for me, like I'm streaming like once a week, so it will take quite a bit until everything is ready. I think like at least another month until we are like at a state where it prints. Let's quickly check. So here it says M3 by 6 button head screw. but I'm not sure if I saw any. So M3 by 4. Let's put this aside as a candidate. M3 by 6 socket head. M3 by 12, M3 by 10. Countersunk. M3 by 20. M3 by 6. Here, there we go. But Scenic 47. So far, it's a really nice build. So I think you made a good choice. You made a good choice. Like all the parts so far work well. Seem to be quite high quality. I mean, I can't say too much yet because I didn't print with it, but I think all parts do what they're supposed to do, which is like the most important part. Oh, I need mono on here. Okay, so we just have that here so we don't forget. Because yeah, it's like I know myself well enough by now that I forget this, we mount the bed, and then I'm like, shit, let's unmount the bed. Like we have to peel off the heat bed sticker. So this just prevents that and serves as a little memento. Cool, perfect. Then I think this is kind of how far I wanted to get today. So we have the Z drive section of the manual ready. We have the bed ready, except the step where we mount the bed. So that's basically left to do. But it's, as I mentioned, like we can do this any point later. There's nothing that we add that will block basically that the access to mounting the bed. So it's basically just like the four the M3 T-nuts here. Then in the manual, it's M4 thumb nuts. But this kit basically comes with these isolation columns for print beds, substitute for M4 nuts. I'm assume that is better. Not, I'm not sure. I mean, it does the same job, so it doesn't really matter. They go here just like to space the bed out. They do isolate more than the thumb nuts, I guess. So like there's less like heat transfer to the extrusion, but I'm not quite sure if that like has any significant impact. But that is what we have, so that's what we use. I'm not in a rush. I have other printers. This is my first Voron. I really like your app. Thank you. I cannot use any printer without it. Thanks for supporting Clipper. You're welcome. You are welcome. It's actually was quite a journey adding Clipper support, and I'm still like discovering like a lot of setups where there's like a random issue, especially when it comes to like the Creality printers with Clipper and stuff like that. They have like very weird configurations. So it's like quite a journey of getting that to work everywhere. Cool. Well, yeah. Everything is kind of in a state. I'm most likely just gonna put this back exactly just like in the box to store. Actually, I never printed on smooth PI, so I'm actually relatively excited trying it out. Make sure there's no dirt on here. It gets. There you go. Oh yeah, the bed doesn't have any like alignment helpers. That's maybe something I might add later. That you can like have like at least like some end stop basically, or like some yeah alignment basically that you can just like slide in the bed, drop it down, and it's like in place. That's something that's otherwise a bit annoying always to like make sure it's properly positioned. Cool. Okay. Well, then, thank you for tuning in to our like special Saturday edition. Next week I'm back on Friday. So this week I was just like on a work event yesterday evening, so couldn't make the Friday. But next week, as usual, on Fridays. I'm planning on changing the V6 hot end. For now, we'll just build it as is. Like I exactly built the kit. The only change I made was that I swapped the Nevermore V6, V5 for the V6 because the bomb is basically identical. The only thing that we noticed is that the V5 has like the 3 slot Vagos, and now the V6 uses the 2 slot, but you don't really need the Vagos technically, and maybe you even have them. I had them. But besides that, I just built everything as is. And then later on, I still want to convert this into a tool changer. And at that point, we need to like talk about hotends anyways, where they need to make a decision because I want to have like maybe like 3 tools I'm aiming for, like 3 tool heads. And then need to see. Maybe I just stick with the V6 if it works well and just buy 2 more, or swap it out for something. But yeah, that's to be discussed later then. But yeah, cool. See you next week. Bye.